further discuss this now with Carlyle Thayer. He is an Emeritus Professor of Politics at the Australian Defence Force Academy at the University of New South Wales. Professor, thank you so much for being with us on the program. First off, let me get your thoughts on the war of words that we've seen between Zelenskyy and Trump and how this is ultimately going to impact the peace process.
Well, the war of words is the Trump gambit to denigrate Zelenskyy, to take away the feeling in America that it was a just war, to end American expenditure in the Ukraine. It's designed to win over Russia, to break its alliance with China, and in order to do that, I believe, to set up a concert of three great powers, the U.S., Russia, China, spheres of influence. Everybody else takes their place. So the war of words is to denigrate Zelenskyy. It goes back to him refusing to take, say, the Biden administration had paid bribes to him, and it's Trump's personal reaction to the way Zelenskyy reacted. But that's small beer. It's the larger strategic picture. Trump wants out of Ukraine, stop expenditure, and he can do that by winning over Russia and lessening its reliance on China.
And of course, Trump has his eyes on Ukrainian minerals, but Zelenskyy, he wants security guarantees. How big of a bargaining chip is this for Ukraine? And how do you think Russia is viewing all this?
Well, one, Ukraine has very little bargaining position if the U.S. cuts all aid to it. The demand for its wealth is, irreproachable. It's just terrible. In other words, in the Second World War, the U.S. did a lend-lease. They could sign an agreement where Zelenskyy pays off whatever the bill is, the invoice that Trump wants to send. This is music to Russia's ears. I've heard countless Russian commentators on Australian TV, including retired soldiers that have come here to leave the country. Zelenskyy, Trump is repeating that Zelenskyy started the war. That's not the case. It's going to end with Russian-occupied territories, I think, still in Russian hands. My prognosis is a Korean settlement where Russia gets what it has, and no peace is ever resolved. It's not in Korea, but the fighting ends at some point. And America wants access to the minerals, and the latest news reports are showing maps now that a lot of them are already in Russian-held territory.
Having been sidelined and all this rhetoric that we're hearing from Donald Trump, Zelenskyy is somewhat in a tough spot because Trump has also sidelined his closest allies, the European Union. In terms of concessions, what is Ukraine going to do, and what does Ukraine expect from its allies moving forward?
Well, the classical international relations, the Malian dialogue, the powerful do what they can and the weak must do what they must. This is Trump's view. Trump is not attached to democracy or alliances. They're just business partners along the way. They're graded in terms of their wealth and power, and Russia ranks there in the NATO alliance. He's deprecated, told Russia, they can go after it. They're not. Some countries, we keep hearing from national security advisors, aren't spending 2% of their GDP on defense. It's a burden of the American soldiers base there, cost money, the weapons. Trump's just seeing this as the deal. He wants more and more money to make America more powerful. And the power there is the economic power, because China is the main competitor. And the latest advances in artificial intelligence, et cetera, has just reinforced Trump. He's going to rule the roost, boost his name, and put a wedge between Russia and China.
Very interesting. Carlyle Thayer, thank you so much for being with us here on the NewsHour. I appreciate your analysis.